Imagine a country so small you can drive across it in less time than it takes to finish a podcast. A country where the land is sinking, the sun is hidden by clouds for half the year, and the soil is so saturated with salt that it should be a graveyard for crops. In any other era, this would be a place of scarcity. But today, it is home to a $100 billion agricultural empire. The Netherlands is the world's second largest agricultural exporter, sitting right behind the United States, a nation 235 times its size. But the Dutch haven't won this race with better land or warmer weather. They've done the opposite. They have unlocked a secret that sounds like science fiction: farming without sun and farming without soil. How did a tiny nation with over a quarter of its territory below sea level become the brain of global food? To understand this, we have to look past the windmills and step inside the high-tech, glowing laboratories that are redefining what it means to grow food in the 21st century. For thousands of years, farming was horizontal. To get more food, you needed more acres. But the Dutch didn't have acres. They were boxed in by the sea. In the late 20th century, they made a radical decision. They realized that nature was their biggest bottleneck. Nature is unpredictable. It brings droughts, pests, and frost. To build a $100 billion industry, they couldn't leave anything to chance, so they moved the farm indoors. This shift changed their entire philosophy. They stopped measuring success by the acre and started measuring it by the milliliter and the joule. They adopted a triple helix model, a high-speed collaboration where the government, private corporations, and Wageningen University work in a constant feedback loop. In this system, a breakthrough in a lab is implemented on a commercial farm in months. This isn't just farming. It's a food tech startup on a national scale. Every revolution starts with a spark, and here that spark is the seed. In a region known as Seed Valley, the Dutch have turned biology into high-stakes software development. More than 200 breeding companies operate here, transforming the humble seed into a technical component as complex as a computer chip. These seeds are engineered specifically for the sunless and soilless environment. They are programmed to be naturally disease-resistant and to thrive with minimal water. The value is shocking. A single kilogram of specialized tomato seeds can cost upwards of $50,000. That is worth more than its weight in gold. Why? Because that seed contains the source code for a plant that produces 5 times more fruit while using a fraction of the resources. By controlling 25% of the global vegetable seed market, the Netherlands has ensured that even when you eat a tomato grown in Mexico, you are likely using Dutch software to do it. To build a $100 billion agricultural empire, you have to do more than just grow plants. You have to master time itself. Nowhere is the war against the clock more visible than in the Dutch flower industry. Every morning at the Royal Flora Holland auction, the world's largest commercial building, a high-stakes drama unfolds. This isn't your typical auction. They use the Dutch auction system. Instead of the price going up, it starts high and ticks down on a massive electronic clock. The first buyer to hit the button wins. But if you wait too long to get a lower price, someone else will snatch the lot. This psychological pressure ensures that millions of flowers, roses, lilies, and tulips, change hands in mere seconds, allowing massive volumes to be cleared before the morning coffee is cold. While the auction handles the sales, the real secret to Dutch dominance happens months earlier in the fields. It's a process known as the tulip hack, and to an outsider, it looks like a tragedy. When the tulips reach their peak beauty, displaying a sea of perfect, vibrant color, farmers don't pick them for vases. Instead, they drive massive heading machines through the fields to decapitate them. Thousands of perfect petals are shredded and left on the ground. But this isn't a mistake, it's pure biological strategy. By removing the flower head, the farmer stops the plant from wasting its precious energy on creating seeds. With no flower to support, the plant redirects every drop of sugar and nutrient created through photosynthesis downward, straight into the bulb. This hack forces the bulb to grow larger, denser, and more resilient. This is why Dutch bulbs are the gold standard. They are essentially supercharged batteries ready to explode into bloom anywhere in the world. This mastery of biology is matched only by their mastery of logistics. Because flowers are highly perishable, the Dutch have built a cold chain that is a marvel of modern engineering. The moment a flower is cut in a high-tech Dutch greenhouse, it enters a strictly controlled environment. It is sorted by AI, chilled to precisely 2 degrees Celsius, and moved through the auction system without ever breaking the cold cycle. This hyper-efficiency creates a window of time that seems impossible. A tulip cut at dawn in the Netherlands can be processed, sold at auction, loaded onto a Boeing 747 at Schiphol Airport, and be sitting in a vase in a New York apartment by the very next evening. They aren't just selling flowers, they are selling a race against decay. How do you grow a $50,000 seed if you have no good soil? The Dutch answer: get rid of the soil entirely. Traditional dirt is actually inefficient. It hides pests, drains water away, and its nutrient levels are hard to monitor. So the Dutch turned to a material called rock wool. Rock wool is created by melting basalt rock and spinning it into fine fibers, much like industrial cotton candy. It's sterile, light, and a total blank slate. In a Dutch greenhouse, plants sit in these rock wool blocks, connected to a circulatory system of pipes. A central computer monitors the plant's needs every second, delivering a nutrient soup directly to the roots. Because there is no soil to soak up the water, the Dutch recycle every single drop. They use 90% less water than traditional farms. This soil-less closed-loop system is how they grow millions of tons of produce in what is essentially a reclaimed swamp. The soil-less philosophy even extends to their dairy farms. The Netherlands has 1.5 million cows, but they are part of a smart networked ecosystem. Each cow wears sensors that track her health, diet, and even her mood. The milking process is completely voluntary. When a cow feels full, she walks into a robotic station. The robot recognizes her, provides a custom snack, and uses lasers.
But in the Netherlands, technology doesn't exist only on charts. It takes physical form through tireless.
Meanwhile, robots like the Lily Vector are constantly scanning the barn floor, pushing fresh feed toward the cows. This level of automation means one farmer can manage a massive herd with surgical precision. The result is a 15% increase in milk production and cows that are less stressed. In the Dutch model, technology doesn't replace the farmer. It turns the farmer into a data scientist. Finally, we come to the most visible part of the $100 billion secret: farming without the sun. The Netherlands only gets about 1,600 hours of sunlight a year. To fix this, they built the glass city, thousands of hectares of high-tech greenhouses that stay productive 24 hours a day. These greenhouses use advanced LED arrays that emit specific spectrums of light, usually a deep magenta. They've discovered that plants don't need the whole sun. They only need certain wavelengths to grow. But they also hacked the air. They take waste CO2 from industrial oil refineries at the port of Rotterdam and pipe it directly into the greenhouses. The plants breathe this pollution, which acts like a steroid for growth, increasing yields by another 30%. By creating their own sun and their own atmosphere, the Dutch have created a permanent, synthetic summer. Finally, we come to the most visible part of the $100 billion secret: farming without the sun. The Netherlands only gets about 1,600 hours of sunlight a year. To fix this, they built the glass city, thousands of hectares of high-tech greenhouses that stay productive 24 hours a day. These greenhouses use advanced LED arrays that emit specific spectrums of light, usually a deep magenta. They've discovered that plants don't need the whole sun. They only need certain wavelengths to grow. But they also hacked the air. They take waste CO2 from industrial oil refineries at the port of Rotterdam and pipe it directly into the greenhouses. The plants breathe this pollution, which acts like a steroid for growth, increasing yields by another 30%. By creating their own sun and their own atmosphere, the Dutch have created a permanent synthetic summer. The Dutch story isn't just about a small country getting rich, it's a blueprint for the future. By the year 2050, Earth will have 10 billion
vast
people,
land area
but we are
or
running out of
favorable
land
climate.
and water.
Out expansive
The
alluvial
$100
plains
billion
like those of
secret of the Netherlands proves that we don't need more land, we need more innovation. By farming without sun and without
Astonished
soil,
to learn
they have
that
shown
1 kilogram
that the
of
limits
specialized
nature
tomato
are
seeds
often
here
just puzzles
can cost up to
waiting be solved.
50,000 US.
The future of food won't be found in the widest fields, but in the smartest ones. Imagine a country where farms stretch farther than the eye can see.
Get plant varieties to move from the laboratory per unit of land area. At this point, every scarce square meter